You know, J-B Weld, that stuff is legendary, right? The original cold weld.
Oh, yeah. Everyone seems to have a tube for those tough fixes.
Exactly. Fixing an exhaust pipe or maybe like a crucial RC car axle breaks right before a race. Been there.
The go-to.
But have you ever stopped to think what actually makes it so strong? Or maybe more importantly, why sometimes that fix just doesn't quite hold up like you expect?
Right, it's not always tougher than steel if the conditions aren't quite right.
Precisely. So today, we're diving deep into the chemistry behind J-B Weld Original. We've looked at the tech specs, some expert analysis.
Yeah, digging into what makes it tick.
Our mission here is to figure out those hidden factors, mostly environmental ones, that really control its strength and how fast it cures.
So you can get that perfect bond, especially for high-stress repairs.
Exactly. We'll unpack temperature's role and this surprising kind of destructive power of humidity.
And how you can actually manage them.
Right, for a better result every time. Okay, let's start with the basics. J-B Weld Original.
It's a two-part epoxy, steel reinforced.
And you mix it 1-to-1, the black tube and the red tube.
Yep. And at, let's say, average room temperature, maybe 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
About 21 to 24 Celsius.
It starts to set in about 4 to 6 hours. But the full cure, that takes longer.
Like 15 to 24 hours sometimes?
That's the window, yeah. And that's when you get that big tensile strength number up to, what, around 5,000 PSI?
Yeah, sometimes listed as 3960, sometimes 5020. It's strong.
Very strong. It's designed for tough, really resilient bonds. And what's happening chemically is this thing called polymerization.
The cure cycle.
Exactly. The liquid resin and hardener, they react together. They link up, forming these long cross-linked chains.
It's like a microscopic net getting tighter and tighter.
Perfectly put. Turning from liquid into a really dense, strong, solid structure, that transformation is everything.
Okay, so that's the baseline, the ideal scenario. But environment plays a huge role. Let's talk temperature first. You called it a throttle earlier.
It really is.
Yes.
Temperature directly controls the reaction speed. Think of it like this. Hotter molecules move faster, collide more often.
More collisions means faster reaction. Makes sense.
And there's actually a rule of thumb, the Arrhenius rate rule. Basically, for every 10 degrees Celsius, or about 18 Fahrenheit, that you increase the temp,
Yeah.
the reaction rate roughly doubles.
Doubles. Wow. And conversely, if you drop it by 10 Celsius.
It roughly halves, so you see how quickly temperature changes things.
Okay, so let's play that out. Too hot, say, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32°C.
Well, your cure time could drop dramatically, maybe down to 7 or 8 hours for a full cure.
Sounds good. Faster is better.
Not always. The downside is you get a very short working time. Pot life shrinks.
Ah, right. It starts to set before you're ready.
And the epoxy gets much thinner, lower viscosity, so it might run or sag, especially on vertical surfaces.
Okay.
Plus, curing too fast can sometimes build internal stresses, potentially make the final bond a bit more brittle.
Okay, so too hot isn't ideal. What about too cold? Like 50 Fahrenheit, 10 Celsius.
Ah, now that's often a bigger problem. The cure time stretches out like a lot. 30, 48 hours, maybe even longer.
That's a long time to wait.
It is. And here's the critical part.
Yes.
Below a certain point, maybe around 60, 65 Fahrenheit, so 15, 18 Celsius, the reaction really slows down. It practically stalls.
Stalls, like stops.
It practically leads to an incomplete cure. The epoxy might feel kind of hard, but it often stays soft, maybe tacky.
And weak.
And significantly weaker, yeah.
Yeah.
For a structural repair you're counting on, that's a catastrophic failure.
Wow. Okay. So there's a sweet spot then.
Definitely. Around 70 to 85 Fahrenheit or 21 to 29 C. That range lets the polymer network form properly dense, strong, well-ordered.
Got it. Temperature is the throttle, predictable but powerful. But you mentioned humidity being more insidious.
Yeah, humidity is it's a different kind of problem. It's not just slowing things down. It's actually chemically interfering, damaging the cure.
How does that work? Water getting involved.
Exactly. The hardener part of the epoxy, the amine, is hygroscopic, meaning it attracts and absorbs water right out of the air. So in high humidity, these amines react with moisture and also carbon dioxide from the air. And they form this kind of waxy, sometimes oily layer on the surface.
I think I've seen that sometimes, like a slight blush.
That's exactly what it's called, amine blush. It's basically ammonium carbonates or bicarbonates, and it's bad news. It means the surface didn't cure properly, and your adhesion, the bond to the next layer, or just the overall strength, is compromised.
And does it scale linearly? Like more humidity just means proportionally slower cure?
No, that's the tricky part. It's not like, add 10% humidity at 2 hours cure time. It's more based on thresholds.
Thresholds. Okay.
Generally below about 60% relative humidity, you're probably fine. Minimal risk.
Right.
But once you get above 60% RH, things change fast.
Mm-hmm.
Cure times can suddenly increase by a massive amount. We're talking potentially a tenfold factor.
Tenfold. So a 15-hour cure could become?
150 hours,
All right.
or essentially it might feel like it never fully cures.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get really high humidity, say above 85%,
Yep.
there's a very high chance it just won't cure properly at all. It stays soft, sticky, gummy, indefinitely.
That explains some past failures I've had trying to fix things in a damp garage.
Absolutely. And there's another effect, too, called plasticization. Even if it seems cured, absorbed water molecules can get into the epoxy structure.
Inside the cured plastic?
Yeah, they act like a plasticizer, making the epoxy less stiff, less hard. It can reduce the shear strength by like 20 to 40%. It weakens the bond from within.
Wow. Okay, humidity is definitely the saboteur here. So, back to that mission-critical RC car axle. How do we guarantee success?
Our best practices.
Right.
Number one, always surface prep.
Clean it, really clean it, degrease it.
Yep. Then you need to abrade the surfaces. Use something like 80 to 120 grit sandpaper. Roughen it up.
Creates more surface area, right? A better grip.
Exactly. It creates a strong mechanical key for the epoxy to lock onto. It's crucial.
Okay, prep done. Then, environment check.
Get a cheap thermometer and a hygrometer. You need to know the conditions. Aim for that sweet spot, 70-80 Fahrenheit ideally, and definitely below 60% relative humidity.
Below 60. Ideally even lower, maybe 40-50%.
That would be perfect, yeah. Minimize that moisture risk.
And if the conditions aren't right, if it's too cold or too damp?
You need to create a little microenvironment. If it's cold, maybe rig up a simple curing box. A cardboard box with a low wattage incandescent bulb inside can gently raise the temp to that 75-85 F range.
Okay, like an easy bake oven for epoxy.
Sort of, yeah. And if it's too humid, again, a sealed box or container, but this time add desiccant.
Like those silica gel packets.
Those work, or products like Damprid. Anything that will pull the moisture out of the air inside that box. Keep the part in there while it cures.
Smart. Controlling the immediate surroundings, then mixing and applying.
Stick to that 1.1 ratio meticulously.
Yeah.
Mix it really thoroughly for a good 2, maybe 3 minutes. Scrape the sides, scrape the bottom of whatever you're mixing on.
Get it all incorporated.
Absolutely. Apply a thin, even coat to both surfaces. And for maximum strength, especially on joints, build up a little reinforcing fillet of epoxy around the edge of the seam.
Like a little reinforcing bead?
Exactly. And clamp it securely so it can't move. And crucially, maintain those stable temperature and humidity conditions for the entire cure period.
That full 15, 24 hours, no cheating.
No cheating. It's not just about applying it. You have to kind of nurture the cure to get that full strength.
Okay, so let's recap. We've learned temperature is like the throttle predictable, speeding things up or slowing them down.
Right. Hotter is faster, but riskier. Colder is slower and can lead to incomplete cure.
But humidity, that's the real hidden enemy. It's not just slowing, it's chemically damaging the process.
The amine blush, the plasticization, it actively undermines the bond, especially above 60% RH.
So the big takeaway seems clear. For any repair you really need to rely on, especially something under high stress.
Like that RC car axle.
Controlling your environment, managing that temperature, and especially the humidity, it isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential.
It's the difference between a temporary patch and achieving the full engineered strength that J-B Weld is actually capable of.
Which really makes you think.
Yeah.
Well, considering how sensitive J-B Weld turns out to be to these invisible factors, what other common things, maybe other glues, paints, even, I don't know, wood finishes, might you be unknowingly compromising just by ignoring the temperature and humidity around you when you use them?
That's a great question. Makes you look at that workshop environment a bit differently, doesn't it?